Well, I haven't done a live in a while, and so I'm just going to welcome you to my stream. Just doing a couple of last minute setups. I don't have any fancy pre show or anything like that. Today, I wanted to do an unboxing, and we're going to get to that in just a minute. Hopefully, as you join and watch, I'd love it if you could make some comments. I can see them over here on my little iPad, and I'm just going to get myself back into the groove of doing this live thing. My goodness. Mark, first time catching me live? Welcome, Mark, to the stream. Glad you let me know that you're here. And I can test this out. There we go. And hopefully that'll just pop up for us like it did there. So thanks for joining me, Mark. Today I have a really special surprise in opening or doing this unboxing. I got a couple of things I'm going to show you. But, oh, that popped up twice. Isn't that funny? Anyway, I got a couple of things I'm gonna show you today. But one of them was sent to me because I'm going to be doing an interview with a very special friend of mine tomorrow. And first, I'm going to do the interview in my private photography mentoring community, and then I'm going to post that publicly to YouTube later in the week, and hopefully you'll be able to catch that. Before I do that, though, let me introduce myself. My name is Ron. And on my YouTube and on my channels, I talk about all things photography, life, and business, mostly photography. That's what people know me for. Mr. Dunkel, how are you doing? If you are new here, type new in the chat, and then I can give you a special shout out. John, we haven't spoken for so long. It's probably time for a little bit of a catch up. But for today, we'll just do the one way, and I'll get to talk to you there. But I am monitoring the chat. So today it's all about photography and macro photography. I have I used to do a lot of macro photography. I don't know about you, as if you've done photography. Macro photography, if you're fairly new, is photography that is the technical term is one-to-one photography. It's so close up, it's a ratio of 1-to-1 or real life close up. But macro photography today is really known as close-up photography, and you can do that with your camera, or often phones have this macro view that you could take your phone and you can zoom in super close. Well, that's macro photography. And so I have a friend I've known for many years who I'd consider to be the guru of macro photography. You might know him for his book on snowflakes, or know him as the Snowflake Guy, Don Komarechka. And you may have guessed that, but so I'm going to be interviewing Don in my private Mentorship Plus community. Like I said, I'm going to put the recorded version on YouTube in a few days so that you can all benefit from that, because he has a new release, and it's in this box right here. I'm really excited. And look at this, being the Snowflake Eye. There's a snowflake stamp on the box. And so I'm going to set this down right here in front of me. And I have a couple of camera views I'm going to be able to actually switch to today, and I'll just show you that. So I'm going to be able to show you this camera view as I do the unboxing, and then I'll be able to come back and talk to you here. I'd love to hear from you, even if you watch the replay. Gary, no, I didn't get it hand delivered. It was delivered by post, as we're still not able to meet in person. But as soon as we're able to, I'm sure Don and I are going to get together and have a coffee. Don only lives about 40 minutes away, and we've spent time together having coffee in his garden and on photo walks. In fact, I'm going to tell you, before I do the unboxing, I'm just going to tell you a little bit of story. I met Don between 2011 and 2013 as the old Google Plus was just building, and we were meeting all the photographers, and Don came on a local photo walk that we had sponsored. And Don showed me this little handmade book, and it had all his snowflake pictures in it. And we were on Toronto Island, and we were going to photograph the skyline. And he had shown me this work he was so passionate about. And I could clearly see that he was very gifted photography and very knowledgeable. He's one of those strange people that you can take the science guy and the art, the inner artist, and mash them together. Sometimes those things don't quite mash together, but in Don they do. I didn't even tell Dawn I was going to do this unboxing today, but I'm really looking forward to this. But Dawn met me, and at the time I was doing something called the Photoshop show. You may remember Google Hangouts, and we did the Photoshop show. Gary Monroe, I know that you caught many of those. You're very faithful watching those shows. And Dawn is still one of my most watched Google Hangouts on YouTube. It's had thousands of views, and for good reason. He brings to us the whole package. And so that day we agreed to do the interview, and we did the interview. And since then, we've become friends. And so if you don't know Dawn Komarechka, I'm just going to share a couple of things here. We're going to go on over, I guess, going over here. Let's just cut over to this. And I just want to show you here. This is Dawn's website, and it's dawncom.ca. He's a Canadian, just like me. And what we're going to unveil in just a second is the book. So I'm not really going to pop over and show you that, but do pop over to his website there. Let me just pop back now. And I think I forgot my little Aproxo knife to cut this open. So let me just reach over here into my pencil case here, my handy dandy pencil case. Oh, there's one. We've got a yellow one today. How about that? And so I'm going to switch to my overhead here, and I'm going to get a chance to show you guys this unboxing. I'm just going to check in on my comments. Gary says, always interesting. Yes, Gary, always interesting. An interesting discover as to which camera he brings. Once, were you with us on the walk where he brought that old panoramic manual camera that took the 120 or 620 roll film? I don't remember if we went to a little kind of a petting zoo in a Toronto park. I forget all the details, but I remember he brought that really cool camera with him. So you just never know what you're going to get with Dawn. And so, oh my goodness, what a treat. Check this out. Let's look at this. Something special's inside. If it's got these goggles here, let me just come back. I'm going to have to, there's probably something in this book, scientific and 3D, that I'm going to have to look at. Do you know if you're supposed to put the red on the right and the blue on the left? Who knows? We're going to find out anyway. I'll put that up there. There's his business card. So let's get back to that view now. Let's open this up. And we're going to have a discussion about creating books too in my membership over there. This month is I think we're going to talk about books or publishing a lot. So here you go, macro photography. Let me see how macro we can get. Look, see, that's macro. There you go, macro photography, the universe at our feet. And it's a substantial book. I'm just going to go to the back because if the pages are numbers, it's over 382 pages. There you go. Look at that. Well, plus the back leaf. There you go. And my brother used to work for a book binding company, and he said, always start and open the book in little bits. Just break the binding a little, then open it a little more. Don't try and flip it wide open all at once. You got to do this with a new book. Take another little set, open it up and break that binding just a little bit. Oh, there's one of his snowflakes. How serendipitous. I have his snowflake book too. If you don't have that, you're going to want both these books, both not only for the art, but the science and the creativity and the stories he shares. This is going to be, I imagine, an immediate bestseller, Dawn, for you if you get a chance to see this. Oh, that's great, Gary. You say you got a shot of him with that camera. So here's the book, and I just want to show you some of the details. Let me see, get it up there. Really, really well made. See the professional binding on this book. Beautiful matte with gloss finish. Let me see if I can get that shining for you guys there in the light. What do you think of that, eh? And then move the bubble wrap. And I'm just going to flip through. I'm not going to show you every page, but I'm going to flip through here. Signed for me by Dawn, hand signed 2021. Thank you, Dawn. And oh, wow, look at this stuff here. So it's just going to be, there's going to be story after story after story, along with just incredible images. in this book. And oh my goodness, the pages, they have a good body to them. They're glossy, very well printed. I remember Don had an issue with his first printing production and resolved those issues. Got another set of books, and it looks like in this one he's taken it to a whole new level of printing quality. I can smell the ink. I wish we don't have smell-o-vision. Was that Willy Wonka? Did they have smell-o-vision on that? But I just want to show you this here. What an incredible shot. I photographed bees. I've got a nice shot of a bee, and I'll tell you a little secret. Do you know what the secret is to bees? Is not photographing them while they're landing, but photographing them while they're taking off. You can be pre-focused and click that right at the right moment. And that's a little trick for you, a little macro trick, photographing insects. He's got a section on equipment. It's really well laid out. If you go onto the sales site, you can see the table of contents. I was over on Amazon, and I'm going to share those links in a minute. There's a good question. Why can't I shoot at f/96? I would like to know the answer to that. So I just wanted to show you this book from Don, and highly, highly recommended for not only the beauty of the images, but the richness of the content. Don takes everything he does to the next level, and you certainly won't be disappointed here. It looks like he's looking at some infrared photography. Definitely some infrared photography, some crystal photography. Look at that. Just incredible. Oh, these bellows. This reminds me, I used to have a Nikon F2 and a set of rails and bellows like that. I sure wish I had kept those. Sometimes you just wish you'd hung on to the old stuff, right? There's a section in here talking about his snowflakes, which is just fascinating science all by itself. But yeah, I think I'm just going to set the book here, and then I'm going to come back. Come back, Ron, come back. There we go. Let me just take a look at the comments for a second. Yeah, John, we'll pull that up. What an incredible compendium of work. I can't imagine the amount of work that goes into this, John. I mean, I know how he shoots. I know that the equipment, but not just the images to compile the information, the volumes and volumes and volumes of information. I'm going to do a little bit of a screen share on the different places I've seen the book. So let me pull up a screen share. It's hard to do a screen share in vMix, but I'll just pull up input number 4 and we'll cut over. And so if we look here, this was his Kickstarter pre-order. Here's the book here, and this has just been released. On Amazon, you can actually take a look inside here in the book. And this is where I got to see the number of pages and all of the, you get to do the whole thing, a master class in here, freezing soap bubbles. Like, honestly, that the volume of information for the enthusiast and the hobbyist, even the pro, is indispensable. You couldn't buy this, a workshop would cost you a fortune. The cost of this book is so reasonable for what you get here. 382 pages. And so I noticed it's all ready for ready to pre-order on B&H. So for you guys down in the States, B&H has it for pre-order right there. And yeah, I'm really excited for Don and producing this work among others. I'm sure he'll probably come out maybe in the future with a book on infrared and ultraviolet, or probably a book on all the spectrums of light and how to capture them. That's just a hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge on that. Gary, Steve Brazel's show, I was very fortunate to be a guest just before Don was, I think the week before or the week after, about the book. And I should catch that show where he's talking about the book and the release. That would be really, really good to do. So there was a couple other things I wanted to reveal. One of them is kind of inconsequential. It's this. What could be in this package right here? Of course, there we go. It's from Nikon Canada. Now, unfortunately, because of COVID, Nikon, along with myself, has been locked down for most of the year. It's been tragic. I can't borrow gear. I can get stuff repaired at drop off at the door, but I can't test any gear right now. But what this is my replacement Nikon Professional Services member. Now, don't get this confused with an ambassador. I'm not a Nikon ambassador. All this card says is I've spent so much money at Nikon, they want to treat me extra special and give me my repairs back quickly and give me first look at new gear to borrow before it's released to the public. And so this has been really handy. I usually get my gear back within 3 days. They're really quick turnaround. And because they're only also 40 minutes from me, I just drive it down there and I get it back sometimes the next day when I need to get work done on my gear. So I've been a long time Nikon user, and this comes in pretty handy. I've not always had the best experience with Nikon service, but my Nikon gear has just been incredible, generally speaking. It's not a plug for Nikon. They don't pay me for any of that. I just wanted to point that out. But what I wanted to open up today is this little guy. And before I do that, I'm just going to set that there. Sorry, Don, I'm going to set that on your book. I'm going to show you this guy. Now, this is the one I got a couple of years ago, and this is known as a Platypod. Now, what's a Platypod? Who knows what a Platypod is? Hi, Yuka. Oh, thanks for coming to your computer and commenting. I'm just moving into another unboxing of something that looks just like this, but it's a little bit different. Now, the Platypod, and let me just back this up. It ships as a fairly flat device. It looks like this. And for photographers, this can hold your camera. What you'll notice is there's a little picture. Actually, I'm going to switch my view here because the overhead view may actually give us a better look at this. Right there, there's a little picture of a ball head. It doesn't ship with its own ball head. You got to supply your own, because I guess they figure they're going to ship the basic tripod to you, which is, this is a flat tripod, and I'll show you all how it works. So you get your own little head on here. So this one is just off my Vanguard, an older one off my Vanguard tripod, and it screws on there like that. And so now you have something that's, first of all, flat, that can go in a lot of incredible places. Like, I helped my grandson, for example, put this in the dishwasher while he did a project for school, while he had to reach in and pull the dishes out to get that nice wide angle view of the dishes. No, we didn't turn the dishwasher on while the camera was in. Not at all. Joseph, yeah, thanks for joining. I am so thrilled to have this book, Joseph. So I'm getting distracted by the comments. I don't want to leave anybody out. But so a Platypod is a flat tripod that does a little bit more. For example, I was up north and I wasn't able to set up a tripod. There was a very busy path in a little hamlet called Tobermory, and I wanted to do a time lapse. And there was a little bench behind this stone walkway, and then there was these stone pillars with iron rods to kind of keep you from falling off the ledge down into the water below. And what I could do was I could set this on top of the stone pillars. And so I want to show you the next feature about this. And let's just pull this over, is that it actually has these little legs. And these little legs are stainless steel with rubber on top and a point, actually a very sharp point. This is a very sharp point on the bottom. Here, I'll try and get that to focus for you. Get it? Maybe, but that's a very sharp point. And you can put it in the Platypod two ways. Either you can put it in from the bottom up, like this, and it becomes a foot. And there's 4 of these, so you can put all 4 on. And if your terrain is not even, you can adjust them completely to fit onto the terrain. But what's interesting is, and I'll show you with this one, it's actually missing its little rubber back for some reason. Maybe I lost it in my backpack. But if you put it on the other way, and that's what I did on the stone, is this sharp point. And here we'll come back and I'll just show you this sharp point is really good on stone or on things that are more solid, but it's really pointy. You don't want to scratch. You don't want to put that in your car or anything. If you're resting it on your car, you'd want the rubber, but it works that way. And so this becomes just the handiest little thing. And at first, I wasn't quite sure about it. You know, I thought, would I ever really use that? And I'm actually really surprised at the number of times I've used this little Platypod. Now, this one is called the Platypod Max. And that's the big one. It's big and heavy, and it holds all my big and heavy gear. And so I just wanted to show you what I received. Actually, I won this on Kelby One, was the Platypod Ultra. And so let's go back to that overhead view. And there we go. We'll open up the Platypod Ultra. And it's a smaller version of the Platypod. See that? It's a little more compact, a little more lightweight, really easy to carry around. If you're on your backpack, you can, if we look at this, it shows you can even put it on, somebody it was Marjorie recommended I put a black sheet down below me so that it tries to focus. Let's close the book for a second from Dawn. I'll put it beside me there. And so anyway, this is it, the smaller one, the same, it can hold a little ball head, little tripod ball head. But aside from the little feet that you get, and if we look inside the box, I just want to show you that. If we look in the box, we get a strap, and I'll show you what that's really useful for. There. And underneath there, look at that. It's a good thing you always got to look all the way into your box. You get the little carabiner here. Oh, I thought it would be much easier to open. Let me just give it a little cut. Little carabiner, and they're showing you can just clip this on here, so you can carry it on your backpack like that. And it's got a pouch of the feet, the same kind of feet that we saw on the other Platypod. Pointy on one side, the rubber on the other. A Velcro closure, and you could clip that on there like that. And so there you go. Literally, that is a traveling tripod right there. It just as simple as that. All that there is all you need when you're backpacking and you need a handy setup. And there's one other thing that it does. And by the way, this was one from Kelby One. So thank you, Kelby One, Scott Kelby and the gang. And I am not sponsored in any way by Platypod. And actually, it was a hard sell for me. I didn't really think I would use it very much. But what this strap does is it allows you to strap it to surfaces. So if you put this on like that, you could take the rings, and I'm not really good at this, run them through like that. And again, these are nice stainless rings. They're good, really good quality. I'll lift this up in a second and show you. So you can strap this around, oh, I got it twisted, a tree trunk, a log, a pole, a sign, anything you want, like that. And so that allows you to strap it to just about anything. And then you can just pop it off. See how the ends are open? You could pop it off like that. So that's really cool. And then they also sent me the little accessory kit, multi-purpose accessory kit for Platypods. And this is for both. And so I just love these unboxings. And so I got a little working pad here, nice soft, because this is steel. If you put it down on concrete, it's on concrete. But this is a little silicone pad that you could put it on. Let me see if I can get that open. This is just fantastic little thing. Like, and you know what it would be really good for? There we go, that little silicone pad. So you could put your Platypod down on a silicone pad, and you can't even move it. It doesn't even slide. Like, it just sticks to that pad like glue. It's like rock solid. You know what you can use this for? Look at, they got a little extension here you can put on there. Let's put that on. Brilliant. So smart. So incredibly smart. And look at what you can do. Oh, there's a shorter one too that you could put on in place of that below. A little lower. Let's see. There you go. A little lower if you need to get some height. If you need to get a little height for your ball head on there. We'll start putting those parts in here, everything that we already looked at. There we go. pouch for it. It's all going to fit. See, that would fit all right into the little pouch. Beautiful soft pouch. And an extra strap. And this strap is actually the size larger, so it would work for both of my Platypods. You'll notice on my bigger Platypod, it's got the slot for the straps as well. There we go. What do you think about that? Holy boy. Yeah. So it'd be really good. Long exposure at the beach, John says. Absolutely, John. Long exposure at the beach is one of the ways you could do it. But macro. I mean, we were talking about macro today. It would be fantastic for macro, wouldn't it? I think it would anyway. That would be excellent. That was my my reveals. That was all I've done for reveals. For those of you who are interested in photography and who have ever considered mentorship, this is the beginning of me letting you know that soon, very soon in the future, I'm going to be opening up to new members in my mentorship program. So you could pop over to my website, and this is just a little bit of, I'm just going to give myself a little bit of a sell here. Let's pop over here and just go over to this is my website here, ronclifford.com, and mentoring. So if you are interested in being mentored in a encouraging community, you can go over here and join the wait list for that, because it's going to open up very soon. Well, let me pop back again. There we go. That's going to open up again very soon. But I'm also, before I launch that, I want to do a 10-day photography challenge. What do you think about a 10-day photography challenge? I haven't even decided what I'm going to do it on. I just thought, 10 days is a perfect little window to do an intense little photography challenge. And maybe let me know in the comments. What do you think? What would you like to see a 10-day photography challenge on? How would that look to you? Put it in the comments. Let me know. And I just haven't opened it up, but I got a little private little Facebook group I'm going to open up to people who want to join the 10-day photography challenge ahead of me opening up membership to the mentorship program again. And that'll be really exciting. I can't wait for that. Anyway, that's it for today. That's what I wanted to cover. I'm really grateful and thankful that you guys could join me. I haven't been active on social media for a while. COVID, some people got really active. Some people dove into projects. I focused on home. I focused on being at home, being with my kids, my dog, relationships, and work through the church, got them up and live streaming with a multicam setup. So my social media hasn't been as active as it has been in the past, and I'm hoping to solve that problem. So I'm going to be seeing you more and more on social media. You could thank you. They are fantastic little products. They solve problems. I love things that solve a problem. All things in life. In fact, that's my gear advice to everyone. My first question when they ask me, should I buy it, isn't how much it's going to cost you, but does it solve a problem? That's a good point. You got to solve problems with the things you buy. Because if we didn't do that, if we didn't restrict ourselves, we might get as much camera gear as John Dunkel. Gary says he focused on kayaking. Yeah, Gary, Cheryl wants me to get some kayaks for us, and I think it's a brilliant idea. Kayaking is a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. And I know you're into your summer now, I'm assuming, and I know you like to usually travel pretty far and wide, but Ontario is still a pretty great place to be traveling, isn't it? And I hope to do some traveling around Ontario this summer, more than I usually do. Anyway, I want to thank you for joining the live stream today. And hopefully I'll be doing more of these on a very regular basis. I'd like to do them weekly. I was doing them on Fridays, but I thought I'd spring a Monday live stream on you today. I'll talk to you all later. I'll see you in the stream.